All right. Okay, hello everyone. We are now live. I got it figured out. It just took a few minutes. Let me go ahead and send this link out real quick. Here we go. Here it, got it. I'm alive. Here's the link. Okay, let's see here. We have one chat, right? Concurrent viewers. I know we had somebody who was waiting earlier. Okay. Well, hello. Um, my name is Josh Starrett, and this is the Winged Horizon studio right behind me. And I must say, it's really strange to watch um, the live action because as I'm trying to watch it, it looks a little bit delayed. So let me know if this sounds delayed to you. I'm hoping it's not delayed, but it says I have an excellent connection, which I'm really happy about. I'm really hoping that this links to my Patreon page like it's supposed to be. My hope is that it is, and nothing will be wrong with that. All right, let me go ahead and double check to make sure that it is working correctly. There we go. All right, now people can watch it from the Patreon page. Excellent. All right. Wow. So I'm going to be doing this without a script today. Pretty exciting, pretty scary. What else can I say? Well, all right, we have our viewers. So I was just kind of like waiting for viewers to come up. This is the studio of the Winged Alliance. And what is the Winged Alliance? Well, the Winged Alliance is what I call all my patrons who join and support everything I do, from YouTube, from streaming live content on Twitch, to all the creative things I'm working on, which is from everything from painting miniatures or use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. All right, let me know if something isn't working right, because they said there's an error. Let's see. It's just causing buffering. I see, okay. I am not sure why that is. Let me see if I can change something real quick here. Let's see here. Keyframe, where is that? Keyframe. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if it will let me do that at all. Sample rate, stereo, disable. Well, hopefully you guys can all hear me just fine. Now, let's go ahead and all right, let's go ahead and continue. Feel free to chat. You should be able to do a live chat if you have any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm talking, what this is all about. So yeah, you help support me by doing things like this, having miniatures, being able to paint these miniatures, being able to create YouTube videos, promoting, and not just promoting, but reviewing really, but reviewing in character. I've created different characters where different characters that play different roles review different products for games as if they were in the fantasy world themselves. One of my favorite products I love to use, for example, is Axe and Shields Combat Risers. These things are amazing. I love them. I use them in almost every game. And there's so many more things I've been doing lately to try to improve the stream and also bring more things to my patrons. What is Patreon.com? Patreon.com is a way you can support creators like myself to continue creating. My dream, of course, is to be able to create content live for you and for as many people as possible. By, for example, some of the things I've been working on now is learning how to create custom miniatures. Custom miniatures such as this one. Would I make it, I sculpt it, and then it will become hard, and then I will be able to paint it. And my goal is to be able to send these to viewers, or to patrons actually, patrons during the every, depending on which level they pledge at. Now, $1 patron is amazing for me. I'm almost at my goal right now, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this a live public broadcast is because my hope is by the end of the day, I'll be able to reach 2 more patrons, even if they're just $1. Then I'll be able to reach my first goal of having 10 patrons. That's a huge deal. Now, of course, my goals one day is to have, 20, 50, 100 patrons. If I get to that level, I'll be able to do this full time. I won't have to worry about, well, all the things I've had to worry about in the last year, pretty much. While trying to create this studio, I have had to move about 5 times, trying to create a new studio in a different area, in a different way, having limited spaces, and I'm finally at a point where I have a designated area, thanks to my loving girlfriend. I have an area where I have a green screen right here on the left. This is for the live shows. If you've not seen the live shows, they're every other Sunday, and it's called Not Another TPK. It's with a group of friends that I met here in Mexico City, and we got together after I recruited players to play Dungeons and Dragons, and half of them were brand spanking new to Dungeons and Dragons, just like me, and the other half are just really, really nice and do their really best not to make me look like a fool and let me look like I know what I'm doing. They don't question me that much, which is really nice of them. And yeah, I was a new DM just 2 years ago, and I started with this group, and we're still playing. We decided to take it online and call the group Not Another TPK because when we first started, they died. We had 3 deaths, not the whole party, but nearly 2 times running the starter set for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Now we've finished that starter set, and during that time, as I became a better DM and more confident, I started adding my own materials. I started homebrewing, creating new story arcs, and now I have several overarching stories that are creating a sandbox world. What does that mean? That means they are literally playing in a living world. Everything they do has a cause and effect, and whatever they don't do, well, things will continue happening. in the other parts of the world. And I think that's really amazing. We're really creating a living story together. That's one of the things I love about Dungeons and Dragons. Gosh, what else? Well, let's talk about. I just set a background image of this right here. This will be my background image when I create my YouTube videos. 2 years ago, I contacted a bunch of people. For example, Axe and Shield. I contacted Dicey Venture Studios. I contacted really so many companies to see if they were, well, to see if they were really, well, to actually, I just wanted to be able to create a YouTube video, YouTube show that was unique. I was seeing a lot of people reviewing products. I was brand new to Dungeons and Dragons, and I saw all these products, and I was like, what do I need to play Dungeons and Dragons? Do I need these things? They look so cool. I want to try these things. And, well, that's actually how the name Winged Horizon came about. I wanted to discover new horizons in RPGs. I wasn't able to do that when I was younger, and so I decided to do it now. And I didn't know what products were good and what were not good, so I thought, why not be able to practice my acting skills by creating new characters, fantasy characters, NPCs, if you will, giving them real stories and personalities, and having them review the products. That's how this all started. It was going to be a YouTube show. And it really... Okay. So apparently, the link I sent out was bad. Let me try this again. I have to double check that everything's actually working. Oh, and okay, it is working now. Good, here we go. And let's see here. I'm going to, there we go. We have a new viewer. I'm going to post this one more time here and just post this to Facebook so people know that I am here. Watch. Okay. Let's see here. And that should be it. It should be working now. Excellent. Okay, wonderful. So let's continue. And so the story of Winged Horizon started with a YouTube show idea. I wanted to be a YouTuber, and I wanted to create really fun, entertaining shows where I'm reviewing products, where I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm talking about different games. I'm reviewing board games even. I wanted to try to do it all. And eventually I created 2 characters, one for the art and one for just doing mostly reviews. And this is the Winged Horizon Tavern right here. And I have all these interesting artifacts that my character, Archie Pandok, has collected in all of his adventures before he decided to open this tavern of curiosities where you can buy a drink and see all these, hear stories. You could buy some dice, things like that. And I found some amazing things, of course, that I would like to share to the world. I want to be able to share these products to show you what is what and what's really good, what's not so good. So far, most of the products I've tried out that I've had sent to me that I've really enjoyed. Some of them I don't use as much as others. They're more for show. Other ones are really, really practical. For example, the 2D neoprene terrain by Dicey Ventures Studio. This stuff is awesome for quick crafts. They also sent me this 3D printed terrain here that I will be reviewing later. I have a video that will be coming out hopefully within the next week. It's with the video editor right now, and my hope is, yes, by next week I will be able to have a live video, and of course I will be doing a big giveaway. For the Iron Throne, I might be able to do that, yes. So Montserrat says she really loves this black dragon that I found at a toy market. It's a huge black dragon that I can't wait to use and terrorize my players with. So yeah, we started with a YouTube show 2 years ago. I had this great idea and everybody loved it. Companies sent me tons of products to review, and I had a really great idea. Then I realized, holy crap, I don't know how to make a YouTube video. But part of it was because I did have to move 5 times before I could set up an actual studio. And now I'm settled into a studio, a space. I have a very supportive partner, Montserrat, here in the chat room. And because of all that, I'm finally able to produce the first video. I have 2 more scripts for the next 2 videos. Once this first video gets produced, I will start shooting videos hopefully once a week and trying to get those up at least once a month. But what else do I do? A big part of the Winged Horizon streams are pretty much the Twitch streams. I currently am hosting 4 different streams. On Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern, I do a live painting class. I'm not the teacher, I'm the student, and I have found a professional model painter who comes to my home and teaches me how to paint and improve my painting skills. His name is Hill, and it's really been a great time to get to know him and have him show me all these great things. So what else? Yes, for that show, we've been painting. What have we been painting? We have been painting this giant from Nolzur's. Now, this giant is mine, but it's also modded. It didn't have hair in the back. He didn't have hair in the back. I decided to give him hair in the back by using some green stuff. Now, why am I so keen on using green stuff? Because I've also been taking this sculpture class to create custom-made miniatures. These custom-made miniatures are made from wire. They're made from wire. And you shape them into the shapes that you want. And it starts out a little bit like this. And eventually, and my 2 first models that I'm working on, you get something like this. And I'm really excited about these. And once I've become a little bit more proficient in creating what's in my mind, I'm of course going to try to move on to monsters. And once I get that down, I'm going to be offering a new patron pledge level to receive custom-made miniatures by me. And of course, I will paint them as well. Or I may have my girlfriend Montserrat help me because she is an incredible painter on her own. This is one of her latest models that she's painted, and I'm just blown away by how awesome it is. So I would really like to, well, of course, we're going to be painting a lot together soon. We have the Reaper Bones 4 Kickstarter coming, and there's going to be a lot of miniatures to paint from that. I'm super excited about that. I think everybody is. We're just all getting impatient to be able to get those miniatures and start painting them. I just want them because I have so many of them that I want to use in my current campaign with not another TPK. So why would you want to watch people playing Dungeons and Dragons? That is a really good question. Most people, I think they would just don't understand. Why would I watch Dungeons and Dragons? Well, if you've ever been curious about what's so cool about it, you can watch a real group. Now, of course, you can go to Critical Role and watch professional voice actors play in a full studio, or you could watch our group. Our group, we've been building we started with just a tiny little desk where we didn't have a space for even our papers and maybe with one set of dice. And now we have this studio. Here, let me go ahead and take a step back with this camera, and I'm going to show you the studio. Pardon the mess on the table. I was reorganizing the shelf here. So it's going to be quite messy because I put a lot of things from the shelf onto the table. But here, let me show you this studio. It's awesome. It has enough space for 5 players and then myself as the DM. Of course, I can't see what I'm doing here. I can lift it up. We have the green screen over here. The chairs go here. And then, of course, we have just 2 tables that I put together. And I have boats. I have so many things, and I have a lot of foam. You see, I also plan to craft. I plan to craft some foam sculptures, foam terrain, and create interactive terrains and try to bring the worlds to life that the players are playing in. I think that would be just incredible. The first time I played on terrain, I was in Texas, and it was my first time playing in a game store, playing for Adventures League actually, and it was really, really amazing. They had this terrain piece, they had these miniatures, and after that, I was hooked. I felt like a little kid again, a bit, but I also loved the idea that I could bring a character to life. I was sharing in this group, bringing fun stories to life, having adventures, getting away from all this chaos and stress of the real world. It's all about money and work and trying to make ends meet. And I could go into this world where your biggest problem is, well, there's a bloody dragon flying out in the next village. What should you do? Should you go save the village, or should you just grab a drink at the tavern, or go the other way and say, sorry guys, not my problem? You can really do anything with Dungeons and Dragons. And that's why I love it. And I believe you would too if you watch the show on Sundays. We stream from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The group they're my friends, so we have great chemistry and we have great storylines. The story arcs are incredible. Currently, they just finished the starter set of Lost Mine of Phandelver, but highly modified, highly homebrewed, because as I was learning to DM, I decided to add my own twists and flavors. And yeah, I have made this a living sandbox world. Currently, in the last session, they told me they want to go 1,500 miles inland toward the inner sea. There are no books that I have that really talk about what's happening there. So it will completely be a fully homebrewed game. But will they go there? Because right now there is a drow invasion. The drow have gotten a foothold on the surface world through a cave because the players left a portal open and allowed them a family of elite warriors and the matron to come through, and soon they'll be bringing armies through and laying havoc upon the Sword Coast. So of course the Lord's Alliance who try to keep peace and prosperity in the region. The Emerald Enclave, who tries to keep nature and civilization in a good balance. The Gauntlet, I can't believe whether the Gauntlet of the Fist or the Iron Gauntlet. This group, they just try to keep justice happening. And a lot of their members have been killed or are lost. So what's going to happen? These players have left that group. Are they going to just lead them to their own devices and just go to the center of the continent? Or are they going to be drawn in another direction? Right now, they're in Waterdeep, which I found actually is quite fun, but also very hair-raising and a bit complicated to run as a dungeon master, because it's my second time running a city. Neverwinter, I ran Neverwinter, but they had a campaign setting book and I loved it. It was brilliant. The Waterdeep campaign book that I have so far, which is Dragon Heist, is a adventure module book. I really hope Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, publishes more campaign settings like Neverwinter, or just more source books. I think this is incredible. So, why should you support the patron? That is one of the things. Why should you become part of the Winged Alliance? What you will be doing is helping me create more content. One of my dreams and what I'm hoping to do is create a full adventure that will let you level probably from 5 to 10 or even higher. What will this adventure entail? Well, I got an inspiration from a recent Kickstarter that I backed. This Kickstarter was, oh my goodness, is suddenly leaving Zealot Miniatures. And it was an incredible Kickstarter. They had these incredible and quite expensive miniatures because of the detail. Just look at the one we just recently painted here. We're almost finished with it, but this miniature here is about ready to be finished and put on his base. And this is just one of the miniatures. He'll have armor, he'll have maybe even drool. He's going to be incredible. These miniatures are absolutely breathtaking. And I went all in. I got the Horde. It was called the Minotaur Horde. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to create an adventure about minotaurs that you can throw at your players. It can come from anywhere, any wild region, or perhaps they let them out. I'll create many adventure hooks, and I'll try, of course, to create maps. I've created maps in the past. Of course, not the best drawn maps. I used lined paper back then when I first tried it out. That was over 2 years ago. Almost 4 years ago when I first tried it. And I created a House of Mirrors. And it was a really cool map and a cool little one-shot that, or probably campaign that I was trying to create. And of course, I hope to recreate it. I lost some of my notes, but I still have it in my head. These are some of the things that I hope to give to my patrons that decide to back and do things like that. Another benefit that you get from being a patron, once I reach 10 patrons, we're currently at 8. Once I reach 10 patrons, I'll begin doing giveaways of different things, from sponsors to miniatures that I like, that I paint, to, well, for one, Zealot Miniatures has become a sponsor of the Winged Horizon channel and the Winged Alliance. So you could perhaps win a $24 miniature. You could win dice. You could win many things. And, well, all you'd have to do is be a pledge of $3 or more per month. The $1 patrons, they get my undying gratitude. They get to help me choose what miniatures I paint. They get to help me choose, well, pretty much patron-only polls. And they get access to becoming a playtester for Kobold Press, because I'm also a playtester for Kobold Press. So just by becoming a $1 patron, you get access to live videos. You get access to well, you get shout outs on Twitch. You will also get access to my all my playtests. You get first dibs on any playtest I do. So for example, what book is it? This book here. Oh, come down here, you naughty dragon. This book here was a recent book that I also kickstarted and became a playtester for. And then after that, they've asked me to playtest in a few more books. And what does that mean? That means you would get your name in this page right here. And where am I? Let's see here. We are the Glory Hounds. Where are the Glory Hounds? I know they're in here somewhere. I bet you we're under TH. The Glory Hounds. Here we are. All right. This is everybody who became a playtester for this book. I playtested so many of these monsters. And how amazing is it to be in a book like this tome of beasts, this creature codex. I really must say I'm a huge fan of Kobold Press. Not just because, of course, I got my name in their book, and also with my friends who playtested with me, but also because they create a really cool world, and I would love to play in that world in a future. Hey, yes, the Glory Hounds. Hello, Jim. And I would love to play in the Midgard world in the future. Sorry for the butt shot here. All right, I'm back. Okay, and so, yes, that is what we're working on right now. What do you get access to? $1, you get to be first dibs. I will come to you first, and I'll ask you, hey, do you want to playtest for this new Kobold Press or another publisher's book? We will get our names in the book. We will live on in glory forever with our names published in a book. How cool is that? You also get a shout out, and you get my undying gratitude. Really, you do. I value everybody who supports me. What can I say? I am human. And if you've been following me on Twitter, you've probably heard or seen tweets where, you know, I get down on myself. I think most creators do. It's a hard thing to be a creator, and also self-employed. You have to always push yourself to create. You have to always push yourself to try to be better all the time. And it's so hard, of course, not to compare yourself to your peers who maybe started before you, after you, at the same time as you. It's so hard to... Chitrick Silverclaw, oh yes! Jimbo! It's so hard to really, well, stay positive sometimes. And I won't lie. I get vindication by seeing every time I get a new patron, whether you're a $1 patron or whether you throw some bits or make a donation during the live stream, which of course thrills me and all the players. That really changes me. It changes my whole world. It really makes me feel incredible. Why? Because it means I'm doing something right. It means I'm creating something that somebody really enjoys and they're actually enjoying watching it. So yeah, that's a $1 patron. And I'm really thinking that I'm going to be creating a new pledge as well. I'm thinking right now I currently have my live streams like this, where they're for $3 patrons and above. I think that's not really fair. I think everybody who's a patron should know what's going on. So that will be some changes that I'm making. So what is the $3 recruit patron for the Winged Alliance? $1 is an ally, $3 becomes a recruit. What is a recruit? Well, that gives you everything that the $1 ally gets, but it also brings in it gives you access to the patron-only giveaways that I do, the patron-only things that I do just for my patrons because I want to thank them. I will paint miniatures and send them to you. If I get some dice, or if I get discount codes from a new sponsor, guess who is going to have access to those discount codes? Guess who will be getting a giveaway? These giveaways and those discount codes and all those types of things that I do, whether I'm sculpting a miniature and I want to give it away, or whether I'm painting a miniature and I just feel like giving it away, just because I want to thank my patrons. That's the $3 recruit patron. You become a recruit to the Winged Alliance. The Winged Alliance is the alliance of pretty much people taking their gaming to new heights. I want to help you do that. I want to help you find a new way to adventure. And then, actually, let me jump over to make sure I'm remembering all these pledges. So then we get to, I believe it's a $10 pledge. Yeah, $5, excuse me. At $5, you become a cadet. What is a cadet? A cadet will have access to all modules, art, content, anything that I create for streamed games or the DM's Guild. For example, I'm planning on recreating some maps that I've used before, and making them, of course, figuring out how to make them digital or scanning them. I'll probably get some help from the patrons who do this already, but my hope is to create some new maps, and I'm working on creating a full-fledged adventure based on the Minotaurs that I got from Zealot Miniatures. Now, these Minotaurs are savage beasts. I can show you an example here. Let's see here. Let's get this guy here. And here is an example of how big they are. They are quite big. And I came up with a story when I started pledging for this Kickstarter. I came up with a story that ended up having me buying so many of the Minotaurs because I wanted to run this adventure myself. And this adventure entails pretty much an invasion, a horde of Minotaurs going across the land, destroying kingdoms, taking barbarian kings and making fools of them, making slaves of them, making meals of them. And your players must figure out, well, why are people running and what can they do to stop such a savage horde? How can they do it? It's going to be a high-level adventure, and it's going to be a badass adventure. And of course, I'll have to have maps for you to use. I love maps. I like battle grids. I like using strategy. I never played 4E, Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition, but I do like to use miniatures and I do like to use tactics. What else? Gosh, so I'm creating adventures, I'm creating modules, and once I've gotten 15 patrons, that will give me enough funds to be able to hire someone to create, well, what is it? Copyright-free content that you can use as a patron in your home games. Now, of course, I suppose at a higher pledge, I could possibly make it so you can use it for paid streams. But my hope is really to make it open content so that you are able to use it and enjoy it, enjoy the stuff I create. If I create new monsters, I had this amazing book that was gifted to me by one of my players called the Magical Society Beast Builder. And I plan on creating new beasts. I go to the toy market once in a while, and I love getting toys like these and figuring out, okay, what stats does it have? Where does it come from? Is it volatile? Is it a herbivore or is it a carnivore? This one, for example, will not be a carnivore. It will be a herbivore that will probably be territorial, have the features like a rhinoceros. Of course, it's from Star Wars. I believe it's called Reek, and I just liked it. It has a great size. I want to bring my worlds to life. How can I do that? Well, I get different things I find from other, I guess, settings, and I bring them all in. So when my players do decide to explore by hexes and go across the continent, they will discover wildlife. They will discover things that are not in the monster manual, so they can't, metagame. They will have to try to figure out by testing it, or they'll just run away from it. I don't know. But I like the idea because it makes me feel like, what would I do if I was in that adventure? If I was playing a live-action Skyrim game, but with my friends? How would I behave? What would I do? What could I do? These type of things make me excited. So, $5 patron, you get to, of course, have access to all giveaways, all polls, and you get to have access to all the modules, everything I do. So when I put things on DM's Guild, which I will eventually do, I promise, when I get those things on DM's Guild, that you get it for free, or not for free, of course, $5 a month. You'll get access to all of the stuff I ever publish. It's yours. To use as you please, it's yours. What's next? The $10 pledge. That goes to, that is the Winged Alliance Operative. So you can now influence how we play and the content we stream. Your input will become vital to the success of our mission. Patrons at this level will receive one painted miniature that is medium size, human size, something like this, every 6 months. It could be Reaper or WizKids, but I'm thinking about adding a new patron level. Perhaps that's the same at $10 or maybe at $15. I haven't decided yet, where you will get custom-made miniatures. And you can get them. And of course, custom-made means I will let you choose what miniature you want me to make. I'm thinking $15 might be a good one. What do you think? I would love your feedback. Do you think $15 is a good level where you can create a custom miniature and choose your own miniature? Or would it be $20? I think $15 would be a great one, but how often? I'm not sure. Maybe every 6 months, just like this one. And then you could also get the Reaper, or the WizKids. Or perhaps it could be a separate one, and it could just be $10. And then if you want a monster one, that would be at $20. And then you get a larger beast. What would a larger miniature look like? Well, a larger miniature would look something like this. You would get a larger miniature. Hey. Something that could be like a giant, or perhaps a dragon. Something that will, of course, make you feel like you're getting your money's worth. And, of course, I probably paint it for you. Depends on where you're from. But my goal is to be able to paint them and ship them. But, of course, Mexico has some issues with shipping. So I may just get that miniature for you to do that. But I think I'll probably paint it first. Because, of course, I'm a painter now. And would you like a painted miniature or not? I'd probably end up just asking you, I suppose. Okay, let's continue. So you also will get access to behind-the-scenes planning of live stream games and content. I will probably make a private stream. Probably not at $10. I'm thinking, I'm not sure where. Probably at $3. I have to decide where I will go and talk in more detail about some of the things, so you get exclusive things about some of the streams we're doing. Shoot. All right, that's $10. And then the next one I have is $20. You receive one large painted miniature every 12 months, once a year. because they are they take a while to paint. And you also are getting access to a patron-only game once a month. Once we have reached a minimum of 3 patrons. Currently, we are at 1 patron for this. So once I get 2 more patrons at $20 or more, then we will be able to set up a game where I will run the game for you, and hopefully it can become a campaign. I would love to. It will be live streamed, and it will be amazing. If you see how I DM, I think you can say, just ask anybody who's seen me DM. Typically, it's really good, I think. I feel it's a great game. All my players love the game. I make sure that everybody's having fun. I think I make everybody have fun. I'm not going to talk down to myself. I almost did that. So that's what I do. I will be live streaming a patron-only game at the $20 level and above. And currently we have 1 person at our highest patron level. This is Avatar of Wrath, and he has been reaping the rewards of this. He is a commander, a winged alliance commander at $25 and above. There's only 5 spaces for this. At 5 spaces, you really personally influence the direction of the game through a private Discord channel. I will talk to you and discuss big story arcs and let you influence some of the story arcs, let you give me ideas, and I will take those ideas and I will make them awesome. You also, of course, get any first picks for any live play games or becoming a guest NPC. Currently, Avatar of Wrath, he is a $25 Winged Alliance Commander patron. He also pledged during a stream to create an NPC. An NPC from his, or a PC from his childhood is now an NPC in our game. And this is not just any regular NPC. When you do that during the stream and you pledge, I believe it's a $50 thing, because you create an NPC that will have a big influence on the game. Of course, you can also create a monster that will have a big influence, or a bad guy that will have a big influence. And this NPC has now become the father of one of the PCs in our game. And it really blew her away. He also helped create a new name for her because she never knew her original name. Her new name went from Alencia to Phylin, and she loves it. So this is currently how you can become a big part of the Winged Alliance, how you can help support me. All of this takes time. It takes money to run streams. I've had to buy lights, green screens, computers, and of course I'm still paying that off, and I don't mind. But what it really does is it helps me be able to do this more full time. Currently, I have 4 streams. The painting stream on Mondays is a live painting class where I paint miniatures with a teacher who teaches me here live. And you help me choose the miniatures that I paint. The last one that was chosen was this one. And you can paint it live with us as Hill gives instructions. Actually, I'm hoping to do another live poll right here on this stream. And I'm going to allow everybody who's watching to vote on the next miniature that we paint. So, what is the next miniature that we paint? I'm not quite sure yet, but you will be able to vote for that. On Wednesdays, we have a DM from Merida, Mexico. His name is Hector. He goes by Blue Flame Hugh on Twitter. And he's a friend of mine who is a really good longtime DM. So I've invited him to be a dungeon master on my stream. So every other week he runs 2 different games. One of them is Call of Cthulhu, a favorite of his. And we're in the 1920s based in Merida. And that show has been crazy. We were supposed to have that show yesterday, but unfortunately one of our players who is playing a big role in the game is traveling, so we have to wait another 2 weeks. But that story is really fun. We always have a pretty full house, so come and join us, enjoy the show. What else? Oh, And then we have a Stars Without Number campaign. This campaign has been off to a rocky start, particularly for my character. He washed up actor, more or less. A B actor from the 80s, pretty much is what I'm playing. And I'm wanting to get my star again, but now I'm on the run because I meddled in other people's affairs, more or less. And that game is interesting. The reason why we're playing Stars Without Number is because that was one of the very first sponsors for the Winged Horizons show. And so we're running that game live on stream to show how the game runs. And it's been quite fun. It's a little bit different. It's pretty easy in most parts, but there's a lot of details I'm still working on. I think you will really enjoy the show. Please check it out. It's on Wednesdays from 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern, and the Call of Cthulhu game is on from 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. And then, of course, we have Not Another TPK, a game with a group I've been playing with for almost 2 years. We've been streaming for nearly, I think we started streaming 1 year ago in March. So we've already had our 1 year anniversary. We've been playing for almost 2 years. And this is pretty much my first group I started DMing, the first time I started DMing. Now, that didn't include when I was a teacher and I was using role-playing games to teach my third graders English, science, and math. But that's a whole nother thing. So by becoming a patron and by supporting this channel, you help me create videos. The first video is currently with the editor, and it will be going live on YouTube after 2 years in production. The next ones will not take that long because I have a studio, I have a setup, and I have it all ready to go now. But it will be coming out live soon. I'm hoping within the next week. And I will be doing a huge promotion for it, doing giveaways, everything else, so that I can rack up some views. Because, of course, I need to get up to 1,000 followers on YouTube, 1,000 subscribers, if I would ever to make this a viable income. And, of course, that is my dream. My dream is to do this full-time, to create new worlds, to create new opportunities. Currently, I'm only able to run about 4 streams a week, 3 to 4 streams a week. Why? Well, actually just 3 streams a week. And the reason is because I just don't have enough time. I have to do another 3 different jobs I'm currently running right now. I teach photography in a company I own here in Mexico City, and I give tours, photography tours. I teach English early in the mornings and at nights. So I don't have much of a social life because I'm working as a teacher online. And then I'm also a consultant, more or less, an account supervisor for a tech firm, a software firm. And I have to do all this because I'm not making quite enough money to survive on just streaming and creating content. My goal someday, I hope within the next year, that can become a reality. And I think it can become a reality with you. I believe in this, and I believe that you will be entertained. And I, of course, will take your feedback. What do you want to see from me? I've heard some feedback from some of my patrons. They want to see. I've been told that people would like to see custom content made by me. So I'm working on creating the adventure with the Minotaurs. I am also learning how to paint and becoming a better painter so I can create miniatures for you and show you how to make miniatures. I'm learning how to sculpt, taking professional classes so that I can create these for you and also create videos and show you how I'm doing and how I make them so you can try it yourself. I want to keep creating content that is creative, that is fun, and that inspires you, that piques your imagination, that makes you say, wow, I want to make something like that. That's so cool. I want that on my table. So that's where we are now. I am open for any questions you have. What questions do you have? I will probably have the answers. Do we have any questions? We had something going on here. Let's see here. I think Jimbo is still watching, and Montserrat. Do either of you have any questions? I do hope to run more streams soon. One of my hopes is to start running learn to play D&D streams online, where I can invite new people to come and play and learn how to play Dungeons & Dragons in a safe environment. I'm trying to make my games as inclusive and as safe as possible. Of course, I'm new to all of to being a dungeon master, and I do my best to create a fun game that everybody enjoys playing. And I think something just happened here, so I'm going to check it out here. I saw something that said patron, so I'm really excited. Perhaps, okay, one of the people that I follow just posted a post. All right, so let's see here. We are currently at around 1 hour now, I think. Yes, we are just over 1 hour of streaming. So yes, do you have any questions? What is on your mind? What would you like to see? Is there something that I am not covering that you would like me to cover? Oh yes, there is something else. Thanks to your support, I'm now getting I have 8 patrons, and I'm supporting 3 other patrons with the money that is coming in, because I also believe in supporting people who are supportive, people who are great in the community, and people who are new. So I'm supporting NPC Bree. She's amazing. If you check her out. I'm supporting Goblins Mordor. He is an amazing painter, makes a lot of videos, and supports other people to begin painting. He is the reason I began painting miniatures, and got over my nervousness and my fear of making mistakes. And I'm also supporting Anna Meyer. She creates amazing Greyhawk maps. She's been at it for years and years, and she is such a pillar in the community. And of course, I wanted to be able to support her in some way. And your support has really, believe it or not, money goes a long way here in Mexico, but your support, while personally, of course, like for me, it just inspires me. And it also has helped. I will be going to Gen Con this year. And one of the cool things that I'm working on right now is having art made into stickers. I am making some new stickers that I will be giving out during Gen Con. And of course, I will be giving these out to my patrons as well. Because, well, why not? You guys have been supporting me. It's because of you. And one of the stickers we're coming out with is going to be full portraits of each of the Not Another TPK group with the logo behind them. And I'm so excited about this. It's going to be so cool, I think. I can't wait to give it out. And of course, if you are my patron and I have something to ship to you, for example, miniatures or something else, or not, I will ship that to you so you have a copy of a sticker and you can have some Winged Horizon swag. But come see me in Gen Con and you will definitely get that. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else that I need to cover? At Gen Con, I would love to run a game, especially if my patrons are there. I would love to run a game for you. And of course, I will be playing in games. I think I've covered just about everything. I guess I could talk a little bit more about this guy. So this guy is actually my first custom character. He is Arthur from Not Another TPK, and he is going to be a very unique miniature. I always like to challenge myself for some reason, and so he is going to have a removable arm. This big monster arm that's given to him by his warlock patron through the powers of her fungi can be taken off, and there will be a small tiny magnet in the arm and the shoulder, and he'll be able to have this regular arm that's reaching for his gunpowder pouch. I'm so excited about this. I'm hoping to make copies of this, some molds, so that I can give away and also sell this on Etsy or some other place. So you can have your own custom miniature that I've personally sculpted. I'm really excited. I think that's so cool. And I guess you couldn't really see that. I wasn't close enough to the camera. So this is the Arthur, and here is the little miniature arm that can reach down once it's connected. That is going to be so freaking cool when I get it done. And, well, I think on Saturday, yes, Saturday I have my sculpture class. I'm hoping to finish at least one of these sculptures so that I can, well, begin working on something new and start doing the major details. My next goal, of course, is to create a monster. I'm not sure what monster to create. I'm probably going to create a poll for that for my patrons, for you guys. And I would love to get your feedback. What kind of monster would you like to see custom made? Probably not something too big, because of course I'm going to be using green stuff. I'll be using green stuff, and what I pretty much will do is have well, I've already got some ideas how to make it, and I'm really excited about it. Let's just say that. So that's all that's happening. And I apologize for not giving more. I apologize for having not updated frequently in the last since the year started. It has been crazy. When I started, I tried to start about 6 streams all at once, and I got really overwhelmed. It became a little bit too overwhelming, and it's really hard to start a stream and not have at least a few people watching. And so I decided to cut them back, focus on 3 streams a week, and try to make them as amazing as possible. I'm going to try to start my gaming stream again, doing the video games, but I had to stop that because I was just too busy. But my hope is to start that again, at least, and also a painting stream where I'm just painting and perhaps even crafting with that foam. But that is to be decided on my schedule. So I hope you enjoyed today's live broadcast. I'm still waiting. If you have any questions, I'm ready to give any answers. Let me check Twitter real quick to see if somebody did ask a question. Okay, here we go. Well, it doesn't look like there are any questions that I see. So with that in mind, oh, one thing I forgot an announcement. This I'm currently talking with John Forrester, who is a really awesome guy. You might know him as, oh shoot, you might know him as, what does he go by? I think it's Out of Character or something like that. Yes, Out of Character. He creates awesome content and just is a really cool guy. He is putting together a Star Trek adventure for myself and some of his friends. And I'm planning to have that go on a live stream as well, probably on Tuesday or Thursday. And in the summer, I will be DMing for the Greyhawk channel in a very cool game. I'm still looking for players, so if you're wanting to play a game and you really like mythology, especially Mayan or Aztec mythology, I will be incorporating a lot of that into this campaign. It'll be a 3-month campaign, and I'm really hoping it is received well, and I have amazing players to play with me. All right, I think that about covers it all. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Let's see, I have some comments here. Chitrick Silver Club, of course. We have James commenting here. Okay. Avatar of Wrath commenting. So it doesn't look like I have any questions. James, Jimbo, do you have any questions for me? Montserrat, do you have any questions for me that you would like me to touch upon before I close this off and, well, take a nap, actually? I wasn't able to sleep last night, so I'm going to take a nap once I finish all this. But I really want to be able to answer your questions. So please let me have them. What do you guys got? Any questions at all? All right. Yes, I know who you are, Jimbo. So, Jimbo, do you have any questions for... Oh, man. You gotta be so careful with this. I need a better place to store my miniatures. All right. So, Jimbo, yes, do you have any questions that you would like me to answer in this live stream? Have you considered painting a softball into a dragon egg? No, I haven't. A softball would be quite large, I think. You mean for like... I thought about doing a foam ball, but like a tennis ball I have here, I think it would be quite large for a dragon egg, wouldn't it? How big are dragon eggs? I could craft or sculpt a dragon egg, probably. Are you talking about like a live-sized dragon egg, something like this? Or are you talking something in the game that can be played with? Ah, I suppose if I can find this miniature, I could show you my latest painting. If I can find him. Let's see. I'm sure he's in here somewhere. He'd probably be over here in the back for the player props. Okay. Well, a dragon egg player prop. I could try that. I'm not sure if they're going to find a dragon egg anytime soon. Not a mini Elxay. So yeah, I have a prop. That egg is an ostrich egg, actually. That's probably what I'll use first if I have anything. Here is the latest of the miniature I'm painting for Gerald to be used in the game. I'm still working on what colors to use for his clothing, but this is what I've got so far. This is the Gerald character that is played. That is the NPC that Jimbo here, Avatar of Wrath, has introduced to our campaign, and who he's also playing himself as a guest on our show. And wow, this thing, you have to get really close, don't you? So let me go ahead and just bring him really close. So this is the one I've been painting lately, trying to get him done for the upcoming game. I would like to use terrain in this upcoming game. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I need to buy another camera, actually, for the new stream. Yes, Phylin's father, exactly. So right now we have 3 cameras that we use. But because of the organization, I had to stream the players against this wall over here where the green screen was, and they're kind of wrapped around this table. So I need 2 cameras to capture them all. And then I need 1 camera for my own face. And then we need at least 1 camera for the table. Now, if we have just 4 players, of course, I can capture all of them on 1 camera, but we have 5 players. So when it comes to that, I'm thinking about reorganizing. Been discussing it with my girlfriend, and she has a great idea, possibly moving and having on the opposite side where I stand over here, and the players are on the opposite side of the table, and they are pretty much in the hallway, and we have a green screen going across the back there so that they can still have the background. That's one of the ideas that we're tinkering with. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I think this has been a much more successful live stream than the last one, so I'm happy about that. I hope that I answered all of your questions, and I will look into possibly creating some more props. I know my girlfriend Montserrat, is excited to start creating some terrain. We've even talked about trying to get some, what is it, hot ice, so we can create steam effects, and have it come through, like, make a fog and all that kind of stuff. We're really hoping to be able to make a really interactive terrain piece. And that is all I have for you all today. I really hope you have enjoyed this stream, and I'm really hoping that some of you decide that you would like to become patrons and support all the work that that I do, and that all the people who are part of the stream, the players, the video editor right now, everybody, all the work that they're doing to create some cool content for you to enjoy, you'll be able to support them and allow me to create more of it. So again, thank you very much. I will of course take your suggestions on the new patron levels that I'm thinking about for the custom-made miniatures. And well, shoot, I guess I'm going to go ahead and say farewell. May the dice roll well for you.